Hey folks, I wanted to record a quick note on the importance of Jupiter as a balance for Saturn. And we understand the Jupiter-Saturn dynamic. Jupiter, of course, is much more expansive, growth-oriented, and forward-moving. And Saturn, by contrast, is much more containing and preserving and gives us a consciousness of limitations and boundaries and what can be pragmatically and realistically achieved. Now, in the literature in astrology, typically we hear that Saturn is required to restrict the overexpansive energies of Jupiter, where Jupiter is gone off too much into its risk-taking and enthusiasm. Saturn needs to come in and remind Jupiter of what is pragmatic and actually realistically possible and kind of check Jupiter's growth in a sense. But, equally, we need to recognize that Jupiter is necessary as a balance for Saturn, especially when there is a lot of Saturnian energy within the personality. If this is the case, then we are too cautious, too prudent, too structured, and too organized. Yes, there is such a thing. So Jupiter is needed sometimes to help Saturn move its boundary, to admit new things into its structure. Jupiter needs to help Saturn sometimes to admit new things into its container within its parameters. Yes, so Jupiter is needed to help Saturnian people take a risk and have greater faith in life, and to not limit the consciousness to what is immediately possible. Sometimes we need to be able to see further than just what is. We can get very, very bogged down by what is. And Jupiter asks us or seeks to move us beyond that. Not in a kind of fanciful way, but so that we can move into new phases of our lives, not get stuck in the same kind of phase, not to get stuck in the same old phase, the same old pattern. So Jupiter is required to move us forward. So the person who never tries anything new until he or she has every single practical detail worked out, that kind of person may definitely need to balance his or her Saturnian side with Jupiter, right? Because sometimes life demands that we take a leap of faith and then work out the details, And this is especially relevant, as I said, for Saturnian people or people who have a strong Saturn Capricorn signature in their chart, right? Now, I did just write this down, last night. Charles Carter said that too much Saturn can truncate possibilities for growth. And isn't that a wonderful statement of how it is that Jupiter brings or can bring balance to Saturn? Too much Saturn can truncate possibilities for growth. And we need to recognize too that part of maturity, a Saturn function, is to move beyond the Saturnian fears that keep us in an energy of restriction and limitation. So we need Jupiter to help us to move beyond the Saturnian fears, and that is actually part of the Saturnian process of maturity. So Jupiter and Saturn are definitely cooperative in that way, but I wanted to emphasize it this way, that Jupiter is bringing the balance to Saturn. So we need Jupiter to help to move the post for Saturn. So have a look at your chart and have a look to see how attuned you are to Saturn or Jupiter, to both of them. Take a look at how attuned you are to these principles, or, if you'd like to work with me one-to-one for sure, we can kind of assess, well, how attuned are you to one or the other, and what kind of balance do you need, right? But don't discount the importance of Jupiter as a balance for Saturn, especially for people who are very strong with that Saturn Capricorn signature. So just wanted to share that with you guys, just to get that off my chest. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, talk soon. Bye.